Chris Gear, Premier Farm Realty Group. I'm here with K&M ranch owners Kelly and Marcia. I want to thank you all for agreeing to sit down with me today and talk about your awesome cattle ranch here. I really appreciate the opportunity. Just wanted to dive on in and share some information with us.
Well, thanks for being here today, Chris. We're looking forward to this opportunity, and we're, like he said, we're primarily a cow-calf operation, and also we do hay work, or raise and produce our own hay and forage. Been very successful with it in the past. Typically put up somewhere between 15 to 1,800 round bales a summer or a season. With that, we're able to feed anywhere from 125 to 150 mama cows, and then the weaned calves, we'll hang on to them, background them, typically anywhere from 60 to 90 days before we market them early spring the following year. And that's kind of what we do here at this operation.
So Marcia, one of the things I noticed right away with the ranch when I was driving around doing my discovery work was how organized everything is and the flow. I was wondering if you could share some of that with us.
Well, when Kelly and I met a few years ago, we didn't have any of this here, and he and I were responsible for making some catch pens and some bud boxes and redoing our corral systems and with the pipe fence and everything, and the gates and everything. It became a point of safety. We needed safety, and the cattle needed to be safe too. And so I had met Temple Grandin a couple of times and got interested in her way of how to handle cattle and everything, and it was interesting. And so some of the pipe fences and the little catch pens that we did, they are based upon her recommendations and what she does, and it's just safer for the cattle, and it's nice. It makes it go much easier, and everybody's on the same page and nobody's getting hurt.
One of the other things I noticed was you added a lot to your facilities as well, along with the flow and the design. Can we talk about maybe how you've expanded on your facilities, what you've added as far as infrastructure? I think you have added the shed out here for all your equipment, and just other improvements you've made on the property over the years.
For every farm or ranch is a work in progress. I mean, you never get done tweaking or modifying or upgrading your fences, your cattle handling systems, your genetics in your cattle, your crops, your forages. You never get done. And that's part of the ranch or the farm life. You're always continuing to upgrade and better yourself for the future. Along with that, like I say, I mentioned genetics. You're always trying the better bulls, or the latest and greatest that's coming down the pipe all the time to keep producing what the marketplace wants. And it's that part has been really exciting, and for us to try and meet those challenges, and we feel we've met it. But it's we're looking to slow down a little bit and start the next chapter of our lives.
So let's talk about the feedlot a little bit. That kind of intrigues me. I'm just curious about the setup, why you set it up the way you did, the location of it. If you can expand on that a little bit.
It was all about, again, safety. We were hand feeding, over 100 head of weaned calves, and he was still working at the time, full time, and I was doing that, and we just needed to do something that was more, safer for me to get out there and do that. And so we implemented, and he built the feedlot, and we can put in over 100 head of weaned calves in there, and we can watch them. They're right here at the place. We have access to water, good clean water, and it's just a lot nicer. And man, that they can come in, we can, if something's wrong with them, we can notice it right off the bat, and we can take care of that animal.
You have several fields here, I think, that you all produce feed supplements for the calves. What are some of the grasses you grow out in those fields?
We've grown wheat, triticale, oats,
Vetch, clovers,
rye,
right,
cereal rye, even
and alfalfa.
alfalfa.
And you've got spring oats growing.
We've got
today,
oats going
right?
now. We've got close to 60 acres worth of oats that we've drilled in this spring. So they're just now coming up, starting to look pretty good. But we're primarily, fescue is our main grazing pasture land for the cattle to graze on and calves. It's unique in its own way. It has two distinct growing seasons, the spring and the fall. The spring rush or flush is actually a little better than the fall. It's all dependent upon moisture, but it really greens up usually about the 1st of April, and we're seeing that now. And actually, a lot of the area, we kind of top dress with fertilizer to get extra tonnage, and that's what the farmers are usually doing here to get the extra tonnage, and then we'll go ahead and convert that into hay. But you can graze it if you got enough acreage and all that to use your pens as rotation, like rotational grazing to rotate the cattle through, but any excess is typically primarily for hay.
Great. And one of the other things I think we failed to mention is, wasn't there some awards that have been won with those fields over the years?
Yes, there was, and I'm pretty proud of that. Back in 2019, we grew some alfalfa, and I entered hay contest locally here in the region, and for several years. And that year, I became the first woman to win the grand champion up at the Ozark Empire Fair in Springfield. So it was quite an honor for a woman to do that, and it was some very good hay. So this farm, it produces a lot of hay, but it produces some good hay too.
Well, that's great. And I have to mention this. I think you were like landowner woman of the year or something one year.
Yes.
In the past couple of years.
Yes, and that's an organization within the state of Missouri that recognizes female farmers, women farmers, and I won that award back in 22. Again, very proud of that. Took my granddaughter with me. So.
That's exciting. I'm sure Kelly's really proud of you too over that accomplishment. That's something. Let's talk about the neighbors and location. You had mentioned you really love the community in this area.
This was my original farm when Kelly and I met, and I loved it down here. I have awesome neighbors. We have awesome neighbors, but the community, it's a rural community, but we all watch out for each other. Our neighbors are very wonderful neighbors. As for the neighborhood, I'm going to miss them because they're awesome. It's a wonderful community, and we have a small town within 5 miles, and we have banks, grocery stores, doctors, dentists. We have it for a little community.
So talking about missing things, so when we sell the ranch, what are you going to miss the most?
Marcia and I had talked about this the other day, and I told her personally, for me, it will be going out like right now and seeing the spring calves born, missing the new babies, and finding 6 or 8 or 9 of them a day, just up bouncing around and doing their job. Mama's there with them and doing their job, and that part I will truly miss.
You the same, Marcia?
Yes, seeing the baby calves, and we spring calves, so we're calving right now in warm weather, nice weather, and our cows and bulls do well to let us change our calving season to this time. This is true spring calving season for us, and it's nice to go out and find new calves every morning, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So is there anything you change about what you've done? Everybody always, builds something and they look back and they say, there's this one thing I do different, or is there anything y'all would change?
I think, I kind of touched on that earlier, that, all farms or ranches are a work in progress. and you continually evolve to get better, to keep building up the operation for the future, or to hand it over to someone else. And we're definitely proud of the work that we've put into this place, and we're hoping that someone else will continue on and with what we've started and make it better for them.
Dream the dream,
Yep.
because that's what we did when we first started. This wasn't here. The fences, the gates, the pipe fencing, it wasn't here. So dream the dream.
All that was here was just this house.
Well, y'all have built a beautiful operation here. You can see it throughout. As I drive around the property and take a look at things, it's just very impressive, very clean, and y'all have done a wonderful job. And I know you're looking forward to the next chapter in your lives, and I appreciate y'all sitting down with us today and talking about the ranch a little bit. If you're a buyer looking for a cow-calf operation, K&M Ranch is definitely a ranch operation that you want to see. Call me, Chris Gear, for more information today.